Hi, sorry about the longer wait than usual. I'm a bit scatterbrained and definitely started the stream up like before I was actually ready, and by that I mean I totally forgot to forgot to get my charger out, and so I wasn't actually able to read anything. And I don't think I am getting audio from the game suddenly. Now why is that happening? Or maybe I am getting audio and it's just being weird. So anyway, my plan is to start a level 1 character on the SSF League of Ritual. SSF, for people who don't know, is the solo self-found league variant, which just means everything you get is from your own drops. So I'm unable to go and buy stuff or trade stuff or play with other people. And I'm just gonna check the sound. Weird. Yeah, no, I'm not getting any audio input from options. Video game, why are you being like this? There we go. I think that's an okay amount. Questionably an okay amount. Okay, yeah, cool. Sorry about that. I am critically unprepared, as I always am. I've sent out links, I make sure my friends know I'm on. I pretty much only ever really expect like 2 people to show up, but you know, those 2 people are important. So I'm just going to double check that I have this. Copy that. Okay. So, I don't think I really need to do anything else to get started. It gives me the option to migrate things out of this league. I have to be careful never to click that because I really don't want to do that. Yeah, so I'm just going to hit play. I already made the character. I haven't done anything with it. I literally made it and then immediately left the game. Going to skip the tutorials.
You and I, we're the only ones that made it to shore. Alive, anyway. This place is crawling with criminals. Find something you can defend yourself with.
Alright, pick up the sword.
That'll do for now. I thought I saw some smoke rising just north of here. Could be worth checking if...
Even the dead rise to challenge me here.
Gonna be pretty slow for a while. So right off the gate, I am playing a duelist. I'm going to be using a modified version of my current league build, which is a duelist champion using using the steal skills. The first steal skill we get is going to be basically once we get into town from this tutorial area, but that will be swapped out for different skills once we get them later in the gameplay. It's modified from that mostly because I know I can't rely on getting the items I need to be effective on that character. So most of the modifications are just small things like having more defensive nodes in my skill tree and having more health and things like that. Less spike damage and maximization and more just like reliability in the build, I suppose. Yeah, we're gonna let Hillock just hit us.
It's nice not
Hello.
to be dead yet.
Not gonna grab any of that.
You finally got the big one.
You got groceries away?
Fine work with Hillock. Where'd you learn to fight like that? No, forget I asked. We Exiles have no history. Dominus took it from us when he had his blackguards dump us in the water out there. Here, got something for you. Should help you kill a few more of those undead bastards. No, don't bother thanking me. The way I figure it, the longer we fighters live, the longer everyone lives.
Is the audio and stuff coming through okay? I'm noticing a few like sputtering of the video when I'm looking here. So yeah, splitting steel is our first skill. I'm gonna just put this here. We can identify these gauntlets, put them on, and we're gonna be two-handing weapons. Yeah, the audio is okay? Alright, cool. Doesn't look like I've dropped any frames.
Stay sharp out there.
A dashing duelist.
Like you're able to hear this guy talking?
On the dreariest strand. That's the first line of the poem I'm writing about you, Exile. Easy, lad. You could lacerate a bloke with a look like that. The name's Bestel, captain of the good ship Merry Gull. Alas, my Merry Gull is gone. My crew is gone. But my wits remain, after a fashion.
Now there's a face I never expected to see in Exile. The maidens of Oriath must be wailing in their beds now that their mighty duelist has left them. Or is that why you're here? Did you perhaps choose the wrong bed in which to celebrate your conquests? I'm Nessa, and I suppose I should thank you for ridding us of Hillock, that putrid giant you felled out there. Back in Oriath, I disdained your kind. In Rayclast, I don't have that luxury. Lion Eye's watch isn't much, but it's ours. We could use you here, while you live. But should you wish to venture out, do just one thing for me. Out on the coast, amongst the wrecks, there must be a ship's medicine chest. I have many to care for. And there's... while we live, we...
There's an island, a hop, skip and a wade offshore.
Pretty simple. Go get the medicine chest. We're not gonna bother putting these anywhere yet. Now, I'm a weirdo. I actually like having these swapped around.
Not the most pleasant of arenas, but it'll have to do for now.
So these big areas here with the sigils on the ground are for the new league mechanic called rituals. I don't really want to deal with them this early in the game.
Seems this new arena suits me.
So right now I'm just going to keep moving, keep trying to hit monsters and get to the area that will have my quest. Most of the side objectives give you extra skill points, and I want those extra skill points, so I'm intending to do pretty much all of the side objectives. So the character build is based around using these skills. There's 3 variants of them. They're called steel skills. There is a throwing one that is more like this. It's relatively long range. It throws a lot and splits a lot. You can see the daggers or shards of daggers sitting on your back. All of the skills are based around a mechanic called Impale, which, well, it does various things that are kind of hard to explain, but importantly it does more damage. That's all that's really needed to know right now. So the other skills are called Lancing Steel and what's the other one called? It's Splitting Steel, Lancing Steel, and something else. They all end with steel. Yeah, my brain's just drawing a blank. But the build is made around trying to maximize the damage from these skills and be fairly survivable while doing it. I keep forgetting how little mana I actually have at this stage. I'm gonna do these ones. I said I don't want to interact with the mechanic much, but it is actually slightly important. Just like, it's a good way of getting gearing if you don't die. Just very unused to not having my movement skill.
Couldn't ask for a better training ground than Rayclast.
So there's one more of those in this area. You can tell that because down here where it says show ritual rewards, it says there is one more. not kill me with poison, please. There. We're fine. We're not gonna die. Probably. Death isn't really that much of a problem. Becca, is the video freezing and jittering? When I'm looking at it on my screen, it's showing that it's not coming through super clear. Encoding overloaded. So I wonder if there's any way for me to handle that. I'm gonna just clear these so I'm a bit safe. Consider turning down the video or using a faster preset. I'm just gonna take a moment to see if there's anything I can do about that. Okay, so I'm back. I'm gonna see if that's actually helped. Well, for now I'm going to level up Bonk, which is there and there. Then I'm going to try and keep playing. If that starts happening again, please tell me. So far, all I've done to try and fix it is just give it more priority with my processor and change the resolution scaling a bit.
Storms descend on us from the north. Unnatural tempests of rage and hatred, lashing our backs, tearing at our houses. The rain is shot with shadow. It withers our crops, sickens our livestock.
Okay, there we go.
The wind carries with it a restless
I
spirit.
accidentally clicked this little node that tells you story stuff. Definitely the quality of video is not fantastic, I'm aware. I already stream at like a fairly low resolution. I try to stream at something like 780 and I think I just lowered it a bit with what I did. I'm gonna try and fix that next time I stream, but for now I'm just like, if this is working at all, I would rather just leave it. Okay, so of the currency I got 760. What do I need? These are basic swords. I don't really need chromatic orbs this early, so out of things here, I should probably grab one of these 2 chest plates. I'm gonna take this one just because it gives me some elemental resistances early on. Beyond that, I have a bit more currency, so I am gonna grab some chromatic orb. Sash. Sash. Grab this copper sword. Alright. Let's open this chest. So early on, we're not going to have much in the way of gear for obvious reasons. We're early in the game, not really doing much. So there is a quest in here just to kill everything. You can get the quest before coming here just to tell you to come here, but as you saw, now that I am in here, it's popped up on my screen to kill everything. I believe this is one of the early ways to get an extra skill point. This game feels so slow when you don't actually have your movement abilities. Usually I spend most of the game leaping around. Okay. Good thing I came back to check that little area. When I first started playing this game, I did this quest and ended up wandering around for a bit, just kind of being like, where in the hell is the last few enemies of this area? Got a life flask. And some wisdom scrolls. Portal scroll. I would call it an exploit because it's not actually a way that you're meant to do it, but there is a way to not really need to use portal scrolls. You just exit to the character screen. And then log back in, and it will automatically take you to town. And technically it is built into the game, but I don't know, it's clearly not a way that you're meant to be traveling around, so I would consider it an exploit. grab some extra copper swords. Copper sword, sash. So for the most part, I don't really like going back to town to go get the quests and stuff. So I'll usually just play through an area with completed quests and eventually go back to turn them in. Oh yeah, so Becca, this is the skill tree. Depending on what class you start with, you start at one of these circular nodes. There are 7 in total. 6 on the outside and 1 on the inside. So if you start here, you can spend a bunch of points to end up way over here. It's just not as optimal unless you actually need a lot of the stuff over here. So my character starts here because I am a duelist, and I will be getting a bunch of stuff that's from over here and over here. But it was more optimal for me to start in the center because a lot of my early game stuff is over here. It definitely looks a bit like a confusing mess at times. So those ritual altars at this point I'm basically using to gear up. Even later on they're mostly just used to gear up, but they're an extremely effective way to gear up early on. They can basically have most items of any rarity, so you can get like items that you would not normally find without a lot of grinding in there. In case you haven't noticed, there's a lot of particle effects in this game. Chain belt. So as you do them, you get more stuff here. So there are still some locked and unable to be viewed because there's still one more ritual on this map for me to do. Cool. Leveling up fairly steadily. I don't have particularly useful gear at this point, but I'm also not feeling underpowered at the moment, so that's pretty good. There's more stuff for me to do in that area, but I want to come out here real quick to, oh no, I don't actually, because the waypoint for that area is pretty far off. And I don't have a movement ability, so it's better for me just to stay in here while I am doing stuff in here. You can also bring the map up, but it covers like a good part of your screen. So I try to only do that when I am specifically looking for something. Right now I am looking for the last of 3 altars, so I will keep bringing it up periodically just so I can actually know where on the map I haven't already gone. So it's just not on this side of the map, so I've missed it on the other side. Yeah, there it is. So for some reason with this lightning ritual, this one specifically, I don't know if it's a bug or what's going on with it, but a lot of the time monsters will just kind of stand on the outside ring of the ritual and not actually attack or move. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, because it doesn't seem like it should be happening, but it is happening. Okay, what's in here? So I definitely want these. Hi. I'll also grab these gloves for now. Most everything I can grab currently is just a strict upgrade. That is one advantage of it being so early in the game when you're not actually geared up in any particular way. Not going to do the altars here. So my current goal is to kill the boss of this area, then go back to the main town after I hit a waypoint. And then I'll be able to turn in something like 3 quests and get weapon upgrades. Yeah, here it is, the Dweller of the Deep. Go, we got a ring. So now we're just gonna make our way out of the area. And then I am going back across to the other doorway I had went through and said I don't want to go that way because the waypoint's too far away. I'm going that way now because I've done everything in this area, including the optional quests. So I'm safe to go that way and go the further distance to the waypoint since I don't have to care about this map resetting. So a thing I haven't talked about yet, Becca, is this game, all of your skills are in the form of gems. So you don't at any point actually learn a skill from leveling up. You have to slot them into your gear. So if you look, most of the gear has various slots. And in this sword there is the splitting steel gem and an augment to it to make it use bleed. So that is what is giving me this primary attack I have been using. And the bleed gem just gives it a chance to bleed. The bleed is not a part of my actual build, but there's no reason to not use it when I'm not using something else. Yeah, it means there's a lot of ways to build your character, just because, like, you get the skills as items, rather than, oh, I need to go this way to make sure I have this skill. Or I need to pick this class so that I can build around this skill. Now I can go back to town.
I'd almost stopped believing in miracles.
So from her, we are going to take a Quicksilver Flask. It's a flask that gives us a movement speed bonus. And then she's also giving us a gem. What do I want to take? I think early on, Onslaught is okay to take. Sell items. Bonk. Bonk. Is this actually a thing that works currently? Sword. No. Stone? Oh well, whatever. So I'm not going to use any of these because none of these actually have gem slots that would allow me to function particularly well. I am going to hold on to these. Not that though. That. Except we're going to use some scrolls to identify a few things. Swap that out for that. For that. Stack those up together. No reason not to put on the ring when you don't have another ring.
Goodbye.
No, I should hold on to those. I'll put my... No, I might actually...
So, you managed to salvage
Now that you've drained that pan,
we're gonna grab the war banner for now. And we'll take dash. Dash is not the movement skill we actually want, but it will be what we use for now.
just the one. I've traveled inland on the
Okay. So now let's see if there's an item that actually lets us do what we want to do. One orb of transmutation. We don't have an orb of transmutation, unfortunately.
Farewell.
I
Hello.
don't suppose she lets me buy an orb of transmutation. She would for 7 portal scrolls.
While we live, we are blessed.
Still alive, are we?
Is this necessarily a smart way to do stuff? No. Am I doing it nevertheless? Yes. A war banner here. Can I not? Oh, strength requirement, right. And what level am I? I'm level 9?
Welcome. Farewell.
So as soon as I level up, I am going to be equipping this sword. And now I can go a bit faster too.
Ha! My fans in Oriath will barely recognize me.
Awesome. So now we're putting Splitting Steel with volley support, which will make us throw more projectiles, and Onslaught, which will just make us do more damage generally. We can just drop that. Or does it still have it? Oh right, it has my bleed gem in it. Big bleed out. Equip the slightly better shoes. Toss that. Sigh. Upgrade this sword to a random rarity. Cool. It's now rare. Life gain on kill, accuracy, and physical damage. Works for me. Again, not like in any way a good sword, but it's much better than what I had a moment ago. Going to ignore that totem. So this is just going to help my attack skills and attack speed when I'm dual wielding, and the other major thing I picked up recently was projectile speed and projectile damage. That was just a little mini boss. So I'm gonna do the rituals here. The main reason I didn't do them in the last area is because I was fairly certain that I had already passed one of them and I just didn't want to backtrack for it. It's nice having a dash skill. It's no leaping slam, but it's something. Took a quick preview at what's there. It looks like I might be able to at least upgrade one of my swords. Grab the wisdom scrolls. I'm gonna grab that copper sword. I don't know if there's necessarily a right reason as to why I do it, but I like to move around a lot during engagements. There we go. What's in here? So this is a unique item. I am not using shield, so it really does nothing for me. Pretty easy upgrade. Oh no, that's a two-handed sword. Why am I dumb? Oh well. However, the belt does get upgraded. That doesn't look like it should be a two-handed sword. Pretty easy upgrade to the shoes as well. Has the video been holding up since I changed the settings, by the way?
Thank you for freeing me.
It's to be a cage fight then. I can live with that.
So this is actually almost the end of Act 1. I believe the end of Act 1 is at a boss in the prison. Sorry about that. Stop summoning stuff. It's very rude. The other one's over there. I just saw it, but I'm coming over here. So the way to subclass in this game is through what is called ascendancies. And to unlock that system, you need to do these little trap rooms. They're not actually that difficult, since you can just kind of use healing potions and blunt force your way through them. I try not to do that too much, though. Mind you, then you can just blunt force your way through them with movement skills instead. That's all it was, though. So I just got increased evasion and armor with a bit more extra life. Okay. So there's nothing I want here, so I'm gonna reroll. Fire resistance could be good. I'm actually gonna grab this helmet. And I guess this belt. Or that does cause me a bit of a problem actually, because now I don't have room for this. Whatever, I'll just keep using this for now. Oh well. It might have felt like wasting some of that currency, but ultimately you get new currency every time you do it, so any that you don't spend on an item anyway is technically wasted. So like it was no more wasted than if I hadn't used it at all. That rapier might be a good weapon for me to use over what I am using right now, so I went and grabbed it. Let's quickly identify it. Yeah. Luckily, I don't worry too much about the quality of the video I am streaming with this. Like, this game is not particularly pretty. Not to be, like, rude to the people who made it, but, it's good for other reasons other than its pure visual style. Let's say that.
I recognize that pretty face. Grand Arena, Theopolis. I've a future in mind that I think would suit you, duelist.
She's rude. She eventually turns into like a fleshy abomination that you have to murder. She likes to do experiments on people. Let's call it that.
Still the Karui barbarians advance upon us. Lionel is dead, his legion slaughtered along with every eternal man, woman and child from Lionel's watch to the foot of our axiom. Should the need arise, we shall retreat through Prison's Gate, raising my barricade behind us. Yet our salvation is at hand. Foul times demand heroic deeds, and through my arts our Lord Brutus will arise anew to defend us. May the dry sands quench their thirst with Karui blood when our mighty warden delivers his judgment upon them.
Everyone loves some necromancy. So none of these rooms have enemies. I think it's just because it's like the idea of you're going to the boss.
Give Our Lady Piety your absolute support and watch her with absolute scrutiny. There is much to learn from the likes of the Inquisitor, the Umbra, and the Soulless One. I would hate for Piety to feel that she need shoulder such perilous wisdom alone. Dominus.
Dominus is someone we kill later on.
Your frightened heart echoes from these stones.
Cool. So this is the Act 1 boss. He's not particularly interesting in terms of mechanics, but definitely he can kill you if you're like not paying attention. His main mechanic is he hits harder than anything you've seen so far, basically.
beats size every time.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's nothing there I particularly even want to bother picking up at the moment. Yeah, he's very punchy. That's his whole thing.
Dear Chevron, you have certainly had your work cut out for you with Lion Eyes Legion. Do not concern yourself with Marseilles' complaints. Our Emperor is fully aware of the General's fickle nature. As to your need to accelerate the implantation process, I can recommend a quite simple alteration. Dip the gem in a boiling solution of 6 parts blood and 1 part thormetic sulfide for no more than 13 seconds. Any longer, and you invite the crystal's wrath. Once the gem is withdrawn from the solution, you have but a few seconds to install the gem in the prepared flash and close the wound. Should the gem cool too much prior to implantation, it will become inert, and your patient with it. Trust in the bountiful talent of yours, Chevron. My thoughts are with you.
For some, death is welcomed with open arms.
I'm gonna grab meme support.
The warden's free of his own prison.
So this is our main movement ability, Leap Slam. I also want Enduring Cry, but we can't actually utilize it right now, so I'm not taking it for this reward.
Farewell.
Now this is our movement. And with it, my ability to actually traverse maps relatively fast has gone up.
Fine blade in need of forging, duelist.
Because there's no cooldown, there's just a mana cost. And since your potions regenerate on kill, you can kind of just hop around killing stuff. Stopping just long enough to refill your mana. I don't want to, but I should take this corrupted area. Oh, no way. They have physical damage reduction, and I only do physical damage. Yeah, no, I'm just not doing that right now. Or no, that's not the Act 1 boss. I'm totally wrong. The Act 1 boss is actually a fish person.
Doomed sea dogs.
Just not paying attention, you know? He feels like he should be, but I guess relatively he is early into the act.
Frank, farewell, farewell.
As you might be able to tell, how I've chosen to start getting around the map once I got the Leap Slam is pretty dramatic. Greater mana flask on. Stomp, stomp, stomp. You can just stomp your movement troubles away. So eventually my stomping will become even more effective because you eventually, or I will eventually upgrade it with a support gem that makes it faster, and also a support gem that when I hit a monster with it gives me a buff called Fortify. Fortify basically being like 40% damage reduction. So the playstyle is I will eventually jump on top of a monster group, have a bunch of damage reduction, and just kind of destroy them real fast, and then move on to the next set of enemies where I will get damage reduction and destroy them real fast.
flame please understand that as a gentleman of honor, it pains me greatly to do this. Hard times call for hard times. Sure, were the circumstances reversed, you'll do precisely the same.
It's not every day that I get to duel with a legend. Thank you, Fairgraves.
So that was another mini boss. I believe that's another one that just gives me an extra skill point.
Mervale dwell. If you must take your chances with the siren, then have this.
Awesome. So this is the Shattering Steel spell. I'm actually going to switch out the one I've been using for that for now. So the difference between the two is the one I've been using is a longer throw that arcs. This one is like a short shotgun of an attack that also gives you chance to block.
Not right now.
Throw those away. Put that back over there. Can't because I'm in the shop, right?
God hasn't abandoned us.
Actually, you I will just keep in my inventory for now. Go to the caverns, find another way through the forest, and meet this chicken town.
Is it choice that carries you here? Fate awaits you.
Now we get some extra life. This, which is life regeneration, more damage, and more strength, and just some extra strength. Right, it has some unique things over Diablo, like the skill system is actually really interesting in my opinion. It's more interesting than Diablo's. But it is just Diablo. So yeah, shotgun blast. That's how that skill works versus the one I was using, which throws a dagger then explodes. neither of those two are the one I'm actually building the build around. I'm building the build around the one that is considered the worst out of the three, which is Lancing Steel. But like, the build should work with any of the skills, so if I ultimately am like, oh, this didn't work out, I can just switch to one of the other ones pretty easily. Yeah, I mean, I was never into Doom, but I understand that Doom 3 was never, let's say, good.
I'm starting to think there's more to life than prize or perish.
Yes, I was well aware that was not actually treasure. I just wanted to fight the mini-boss. That sounds confusing. So this is the actual Act 1 boss. Oh god. And then you just get hit in a dumb way. Well, phase 1 is done. Please. Thank you. Do not freeze me again. Thank you. It's going to heal up a bit. Oh, this is fine. Everything here is fine. There we go. See, everything's fine. Nothing going wrong. Everything's good. Everything's fine. God, I'm standing in a tunnel of damage like a dummy. So I'm actually going to switch back to Splitting Steel for now. I don't actually care for how Shattering Steel plays. I need to get too close. It's uncomfortable. So maybe that's like a heads up about how I will feel Lancing Steel plays as well. But you know, I'm still going to try and build towards Lancing Steel. Oh, it's a 2. Why do I keep doing that? Oh well. Might as well do these altars. This is fine. Cool. Don't attack me while I'm shopping. What did I just say? I'd lose a bit of fire resistance, but that still seems good. Stop. Beyond that, also grab this. And those. Stop hitting me while I'm shopping. Okay, have a good dinner. I wasn't gonna keep playing much longer. I'm planning just to get to the settlement and then being done for today since I got through Act 1. Which the settlement is right here.
I thought you were a fool for seeking out men.
Quite the lady killer, aren't you?
I will see you again.
Damn me. I didn't...
Alright, there we go. So that's all of Act 1 done, and we're at the encampment for Act 2. So I will be able to do Act 2 next time I play. Drop these skill points in. Bonk, bonk. Alright. Sorry about the start of the stream and it being a bit flimsy. I guess I've only been live for like an hour and a half, but with that other time, that was like an extra half an hour, and I only planned to stream for 2 hours, so whatever. I will maybe be able to get through an act or two next time if I play for 3 hours, but this was pretty last moment. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Bye-bye.